Picking a subject to major in for college is hard enough for those of us without law school aspirations. Today we're talking about the most common and helpful things to study before law school takes over our lives. My intro screen is going to pop up in about 4 seconds, so use that time to hit the subscribe button and then we'll get going. Ready, set, There's a few strategies you can choose from when deciding on a major before law school. The ones we're going to cover today are by the stats, passions, and skill sets. Numbers don't lie. The most common choice for college majors in general is business administration, while the most popular choice for law students by far is political science, with business and other social sciences not far behind. My own major, communication, came in at about 4% of law students. The average GPA for college students varies by college and by major, so it's not exactly something that can be pinned down, but experts say that it is definitively on the rise. You may have heard that the average grade is represented by a C, but recent studies indicate that a B is actually closer to the truth, around a 3.15 GPA. I'll link below an article that goes more into the reasons behind grade inflation, but what's relevant here is that the varying difficulties of different college majors are something to consider if you're looking to go to a highly selective law school. A GPA of 3.3 means less today than it did a decade ago in comparison to other applicants. So while it is true that students considering going into law school can major in whatever they want, maybe rethink majoring in chemistry, which has an average GPA of 2.78. Majors with the highest average GPAs include English, education, and foreign languages. The passion strategy is pretty self-explanatory. What are you passionate about? What's a topic you can't get enough of? I mean, you're stuck with this thing for 3 to 4 years, so you might as well pick a topic that you actually are interested in. Now, you might have a sense of how that topic could factor into your future career as a lawyer, but honestly, you might not, and that's totally fine too. There are plenty of successful people who majored in things totally different than what they ended up in and didn't have the direction that law school provides. The co-founder of PayPal majored in 20th century philosophy and then went to law school before starting his very successful business. The CEO of American Express majored in history. Michael Eisner was the CEO of Disney for over 20 years, and he majored in literature and theater, not business administration, finance, or even film. The very fact that you are learning and dedicating your time and energy to something you care about makes the experience worth it. It's never a waste to learn something new, even if it doesn't directly impact the rest of your career. I am personally the biggest fan of the third strategy, skill sets, especially if you have a solid plan for which kind of law you want to go into after law school. That described me to a T. I'm very goal-oriented and always like to have a plan of action. Ever since I was 15, I knew exactly what I wanted to go into professionally. Essentially, I want to do criminal prosecution. I want to be in the courtroom with a lineup of evidence to present to the jury, which means I need to be good at 2 things. First, knowing the law, and second, knowing how to present that law in an understandable way to lay people. Another way to say that, communication. So what would be a better major? My school actually had a specific concentration under communication for rhetoric and culture, which essentially looked at the historical and philosophical practices of human communication and applied them to public speaking. Not only was this choice incredibly practical for me, but I also found it fascinating, which didn't hurt either. Now, there are endless areas of law that people could be passionate about and excited to go into work every single day. If you're going into contract law, maybe consider business administration. If you're really excited about family or adoption law, consider psychology. If you're planning to go into politics like so many lawyers have, political science probably isn't the worst option for you. Honestly, there isn't a bad choice of major before law school. As long as you can explain why you chose what you did, how it's going to help you grow as a person, and show that you did well academically, you're going to be just fine. This strategy is most useful if you're looking to build up specific skills, but obviously any major is going to teach you something, in theory. So just to recap, the by the stats strategy advises you to factor in the ease and popularity of college majors among your peers. The passion strategy encourages you to pick something that you care about so you don't hate your life for 4 years. And the skill set strategy sets you up for success in a particular area of law. Obviously, the more that you can overlap and combine these strategies, the farther your tuition, energy, and time investment are going to go to not only give you a great college experience, but also a solid foundation for a fulfilling career no matter where you end up. Let me know in the comments below what your college major was and how you chose or are choosing it. I do have a bonus video for you all this week, so I'll see you over there, and God bless.